Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom alongside our senior hockey reporter, Frank Saravelli, with the breaking news from Ottawa as Matt Duchene has been traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Duchene, one of the three big names in the Sens organization who have been rumored to be on the move between now and Monday's trade deadline. Here's how the trade breaks down. It is Duchene and prospect Julius Bergman heading to Columbus in exchange for a first-round pick in 2019 and a conditional first-round pick in 2020. That condition is if Duchene signs with Columbus. Also going to Ottawa, prospects Vitaly Abramov, a third-round pick in 2016, and Jonathan Davidson. Joined alongside our hockey insider, Darren Drager. And Darren, no real shock to see Duchene on the move, going to the Columbus Blue Jackets, a team that Ottawa faces tonight on TSN 5. Take us through how this deal was completed.
Well, it was a complicated one, obviously, but it became very clear about midweek that the Ottawa Senators were definitely going to move Matt Duchene, perhaps even a little bit earlier than that. And it should come as no surprise to anyone who's watching and listening that Jarmo Kekalainen and the Columbus Blue Jackets stepped up. Columbus has been looking for a center for a long period of time. Now, the question is this going to be a rental opportunity for the Columbus Blue Jackets, or are they going to be able to convince Matt Duchene that his future is long-term within the organization? So there's still some questions that need to be answered, but I don't think that the Columbus Blue Jackets are done yet. They still have time, obviously, between now and the trade deadline, and the sense that we're getting in dealing with everything around the Blue Jackets right now is that it's not just flippant language that they're loading up. So they add Matt Duchene, and there's a strong appetite by Kekalainen and company in Columbus to add other pieces between now and the deadline.
Now, Dregs, I alluded to the big three in Ottawa, and that includes Mark Stone and Ryan Dzingel. What's next for the Ottawa Senators now?
Well, there's still some pretty big pieces, as you allude to here. I still believe that Ottawa is going to continue to try and push to keep Mark Stone. It's more likely than not that they're unsuccessful in that regard. But they have done a very good job of keeping things interesting with Mark Stone. Creative offers ranging from 5 years to 8 years. But, sooner rather than later, Mark Stone is just flat out going to have to declare that he's in or he's out. We know that Pierre Dorion, the general manager of the Ottawa Senators, has been talking with teams about Mark Stone. So clearly he's preparing for, an answer that he's not going to like, that Stone is not signing long-term in Ottawa. But, the silver lining to all of this is an incredible appetite in Mark Stone, with several teams definitely waiting. And then you've got Ryan Dzingel, who isn't a bad plan C, if you will.
Now, Dregs, there are some similarities between the two teams. It's not just the fact that they're playing each other tonight, but it's the fact that they have pending UFAs who have been rumored to be traded before the deadline. And you talked about Columbus. Right now, they sit outside of a playoff spot. How does today's trade affect the Blue Jackets, and maybe more specifically, Artemi Panarin?
Well, it is a mysterious development. Some looked at it in speculation last couple of days, saying, well, if they added a piece like Matt Duchene, does that make it easier to trade Artemi Panarin? And the quick answer would be yes, because they feel like they can still compete for that playoff spot by adding Duchene, but you allow a piece like Artemi Panarin to walk into the market free as an unrestricted free agent, and that's where it gets a little bit more complicated. I think that Jarmo Kekalainen would tell you that it's status quo. I know those around Matt Duchene and his camp believe that they're going to hold on to Artemi Panarin, because otherwise you've got that disconnect. A minute ago I said they're loading up and they're adding other pieces. Well, if you're adding Matt Duchene and you're interested in adding other pieces to push into the playoffs and go as deep as you can, does it really make sense to trade Artemi Panarin? But I think that that's Kekalainen not showing his hand and just being prepared if a team comes out of the woodwork and offers him something that he can't refuse. But I think that Panarin is likely to stay.
Yeah, it should be really intriguing to watch what both teams do between now and the deadline on Monday.